Hello, it's David again. I've been going through a lot the last couple weeks. Had a tremendous shock with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And so I really I want to do a couple videos about this, a couple of podcasts about Charlie. And the first one I want to put up, this is something that I saw on Sasha Stone's website, The Free Press. She has this thing called The Free Press. And there is so much going on with the news media, much of the news media, the legacy news media, trying to present Charlie Kirk as some sort of really evil radical who was just saying all sorts of horrible stuff and whose views were just completely horrible, and that he was really out of step with normalcy, that he was, racist, a bigot, anti-Jew, anti-liberty, just that he was just really, really not a good person. And of course, my own situation with Charlie Kirk, I'm going to get into this in a great deal of depth in the next video. What I want to put up today is this wonderful montage of clips of Charlie Kirk, people talking about Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk speaking for himself. It's about, I think, 45, 50 minutes long, and I cut a little bit off the beginning of it. But this was something, a montage that Sasha Stone pulled together, because the truth is, I really didn't know that much about Charlie Kirk when I heard he was assassinated. I'm going to get into this in a lot more detail, but I was stunned by how devastated I was by it, in light of the fact that I really did not know him that well. I had seen clips of him on YouTube. I had actually never watched one of his podcasts or videos or debates all the way through. I'd just seen a bit of him here and there, enough that he really won my admiration and respect, and I really loved what he was doing, to the extent that I knew about it, but my knowledge was very, very shallow. And I think this is true of most of the people in the country. I don't think most people were listening to Charlie Kirk much. And so nature abhors a vacuum. If you have a vacuum of true knowledge about somebody, it's really easy for them to be misrepresented to you, and you might swallow it. You just don't really know what to think. Oh gosh, Charlie Kirk, was against the Civil Rights Act, or Charlie Kirk was this, or Charlie Kirk was that. And in any case, it's really a wonderful thing to see this montage of clips, to give you a chance to really get to know the man. And I watched this and I was just really amazed by it. Really appreciated Sasha Stone pulling it together. And I thought this would be something that I should pass on. So this is because the legacy media is attempting to tear him down as much as they can without being completely outrageous. So in any case, I thought a lot of you might really want to see this montage of Charlie Kirk clips, because a lot of you probably don't have time to watch a lot of his videos. And I thoroughly, my wife and I, Valerie and I, sat down and watched this, and we just genuinely enjoyed it. And this starts with what's her name, Alexandria Cortez or whatever, one of these hyper progressive House of Representatives people from New York, completely misrepresenting what who Charlie Kirk is and what he actually believed, completely demonizing and misrepresenting him as somebody that didn't deserve any kind of resolution honoring him because he was really this oppressive, evil person. And that lasts a couple minutes. And then it goes on into this wonderful montage of who Charlie Kirk actually is. And I just thought it was absolutely wonderful. And so the title of this, as you can see in the thumbnail, is Who Was Charlie Kirk Really? Don't Believe the Lies, okay? And I really wanted to put this out there now because the next thing I'm going to do, and I've been working on this for, about 10 days. Charlie Kirk was assassinated 14 days ago on the 10th, and today is the 24th. And for 4 or 5 days, I was just a basket case over it. And I've just been wrestling with what to say and how to say it. But I've really come up with something I want to share that I think is really worthwhile. I think I have some, I guess you'd call them deep thoughts or insight, or maybe even a bit of revelation about why such a good man would be assassinated. Okay? This is not a light thing. It's a very, very deep thing. And this is the thumbnail for the next one. Satan's 3 reasons for killing Charlie Kirk. Okay? And so in any case, this is going to be up tomorrow morning. Satan's 3 reasons for killing Charlie Kirk. But just in case there's some of you out there that really don't really know as much about Charlie Kirk as you might wish you knew, this is a very concise way to kind of get a picture of who he actually is and was. And that is really helpful for understanding why Satan would want this man dead so bad that he would find someone, a persuasive person who had drifted away from any solid foundation that he could persuade to do such a thing. And so who was Charlie Kirk really? Don't believe the lies, all right? And so I'm just gonna watch this with you. I might be going here and there a little bit, but I've already watched this several times and watched it with my wife Valerie. But I just really wanted to pass it on, okay? And of course, this is all extremely newsworthy, and I'm doing this under the whole fair use thing that allows you to share things that might be copyrighted, if they're newsworthy and you're making, commentary on them or reacting to them. But I think we're all reacting to this stuff, to the assassination of Charlie Kirk and what's been going on, all the controversy that's been going on for the last 2 weeks over this. So here we go. Let's put this away. All right. Now let's just start right here.
Valley University gathered to pay tribute to Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated on their campus just 9 days ago. The vigil comes ahead of Sunday's funeral for Kirk. Tens of thousands are expected to attend, including President Trump. His murder and some unexpected outreach that Kirk made the day before his death have resonated with our CNN colleague Van Jones. The story begins when a Ukrainian woman was fatally stabbed last month in North Carolina. The suspect is a black man, and Charlie Kirk and Van got into a public sparring match online. Kirk claimed the murder happened because she was white. Van denounced that as completely unfounded. Kirk then sent out what Van calls a fire hose of tweets challenging his argument, which Van says sparked death threats against him. In the midst of all of this, Kirk reached out to Van in a direct message on X. "Hey Van, I mean it. I'd love to have you on my show to have a respectful conversation about crime and race. I would be a gentleman, as I know you would be as well. We can disagree about the issues agreeably." Now, that message was sent on September 9th. Van says he did not see it until the very next day after Kirk was murdered. Van Jones just wrote a piece about this for CNN.com and is here tonight. I mean, this is extraordinary. So this was received the day before he was killed.
Yeah. Look, I mean, we were beefing. We were going at it online, on air, and then after he died, after he was murdered, my team called and said, Van, he was trying to reach you, man. What? And what was he doing? Dialogue. Let's be gentlemen together. He says, let's disagree agreeably. So I'm sitting on this and I'm watching the whole country talk about civil war, censorship, justifying murder about this guy? This guy is reaching out to his mortal enemy saying, we need to be gentlemen, sit down together and disagree agreeably. And the next day he's killed. And I've sat on it long enough and I just said, you know what? We're going to Memorial Weekend for this man. We disagree. Everybody knows we were not friends, okay? At all. But you praise the good when it's time to memorialize somebody. And what he did, and I didn't even know it, was good. He was not for censorship. He was not for civil war. He was not for violence. He was for dialogue, open debate and dialogue, even with me.
To all the Gen Zers watching this convention on TikTok right now, I have a message just for you. You don't have to stay poor. You don't have to accept being worse off than your parents. You don't have to feel aimless and unhappy. You don't have to support leaders who lied to you and took advantage of you for your vote. America's future is a series of choices. Our current state of slow motion national decline is a choice.
At 18 years old, you didn't go to college. How did you decide, number one, not going to college, number two, going to do student activism, and number three, going to start one of the largest student organizations in the country?
Well, thank you, Ben. It's an honor to be here. I appreciate it very much. Started it, I had no money, no connections, no idea what I was doing. Always had a passion for politics and for saving the country. And I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. I originally wanted to go to West Point, didn't get in, ended up being the best thing that never happened to me. I convinced my parents to allow me to take a gap year before entering college, and one gap year has now turned into 8 gap years. And the great irony of the whole thing is I run an organization that's focused on college campus outreach, that actually go into college myself. But it's now, on 2,000 high school and college campuses. You spoke at our last event, which was down in Palm Beach at the end of last year. And look, you know this, you visit a lot of campuses across the country. There's a crisis happening right now in higher education where students are being taught to hate our country, where anti-Americanism is on the rise. And I think conservative values and conservative ideas are being given an opportunity to really have a revival and a renaissance. And, we see that at Turning Point USA. We see that the work that we're doing and the speeches that I give and the visits that, I partake in. And it's been a great journey over the last 8 years. And it's been fun seeing, of course, when I first met you, you were, working and writing and doing radio. And then, of course, that was before the Daily Wire, and seeing that kind of take off. So it's been fun kind of, throughout the last couple of years, kind of seeing both entities grow.
Words of wisdom for everyone today.
Grammar matters more than people realize.
Words of wisdom for today.
Learn how to say words backwards.
I don't know if they were the words of wisdom for tonight.
Power shows the man. You want to find out a lot about somebody, give them a bunch of power. Power shows the man.
I'm not going to be able to focus sitting this close to him. Hello. I'm not going to be able to focus looking right at you. I'm just going to be staring at you.
Hello.
Oh. Wow.
Ready, Terrell?
Hold on.
We're rolling?
We're not.
All right, you'll be switching? All right, I'll count it down.
Wait. I'm kind of nervous, you guys.
She's nervous, which is why we must get going. All right, we ready?
No.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this episode of The Charlie Kirk Show.
You're going to have to do it again.
Introduce yourself.
Is that what you're going to say?
I'm engaged. Joining me is the most special guest, my fiance.
Charlie Kirk, we're praying for you. We know that you're in heaven right now.
Very important. Sir Isaac Newton fell asleep underneath a tree. And then an apple hit him. Kind of like this. So then he came up with the 3 laws. Okay, see, that's the issue, is you keep on thinking when you drop it, it comes back up, but it doesn't, okay? The 3 laws of Newtonian physics. You're going to be quizzed on this later, you know. An object at rest will stay at rest. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. For example, if I push it, it goes towards me. And finally, force equals mass times acceleration. Any questions? Right, Chi-Chi? Ah! MAGA Moosey wins. Ultra MAGA Moosey.
Do you like that tree?
Yes, it's the best in the meeting. To know the road ahead, Asto's coming back.
Why are we getting that one?
Because he's just the perfect width. Not too fat, not too skinny.
Baboon or baboon?
Baboon. I like your hat.
Are you the tree expert?
I'm the tree expert. After many decades of living in the Midwest, I know. Thank you guys for a respectful conversation, even though we see things very differently. And if you're engaged in the creation of that content, I think God has a better plan for you. I know that might sound preachy and not what you want to hear, but maybe you'll have an encounter with God, and Jesus loves all of you, and He can transform your life. He transformed my life, and every day is a new day, and it's a hopeful, beautiful life ahead of you. And God loves every single one of us. We're all sinners, and Jesus died.
I mean, you've definitely been the most respectful one that I've seen.
Well, thank you. That's very. Very kind, and I can tell you it's not me. If it was me, I'd be yelling and screaming. It's the Holy Spirit. It really is. I know it might sound silly, it might sound cliche, but Jesus has gone to work on my life. And so, God bless you guys. Thank you for a great discussion.
Charlie, 400 black people are in the East Room being treated like royalty, and he has nothing but that to say. Are you kidding me? 400 are treated like Medal of Honor recipients. Because y'all are, by the way. You are heroes for what you're doing, because you see the backlash. Exactly. You read the comment section on the CNN live feed, what they're saying about you. How much do they get paid? That's what they're saying. Where did they find these people? Wow. I didn't know that Craigslist existed for paid actors for Trump rallies. But guess what? There's nothing more real than you. Yeah. Because it's so hard. I said, okay, I'm going to go on a leap of faith. And if you know me, I got my phone everywhere, right? And now I am very proud of, I'm very thankful, not proud of myself, I'm very thankful to God. I deleted all my social media apps from my phone a year and a half ago. I highly encourage it, by the way. It's very liberating. But I know for young people, this is extremely relevant, because you live off of these devices as if they're some sort of kind of part of your existence. And ever since I was able to turn off the phone and just take a legitimate Sabbath, all of a sudden, those other 6 days are centered around that one day. How are you?
I'm good. How about you? So you're notoriously anti-Civil Rights Act.
Well, again, I explained that earlier. There's parts of it that were good.
Okay. I want to know what your idea for, like, not only black liberation, but, like, liberation for any type of minority that was protected through the Civil Rights Act, like, what your idea for that would be if it wasn't there.
Yeah, again, I said it earlier that the part of the Civil Rights Act that disallowed businesses from administering services based on race, that was a good part. The other parts that created this this ridiculously overreaching anti-racist bureaucracy was ridiculous, and now it's being...
Like what parts?
Well, for example, the parts that give us the enforcement on the Voting Rights Act, which says that so I'll give you an example. Merrick Garland recently said that states cannot have voter ID because it's a violation of the Civil Rights Act. So that's insane, because the Civil Rights Act went as far to say not just disparate encounter, but disparate impact.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So
I get that.
So the impact goes too far for me.
So I wanted to talk about how you're a big advocate for having a choice as Americans to get the vaccine, which I completely agree with. Yeah. But also at the same time, you also advocate for women not to have the freedom to choose what they do with their bodies, as well as the LGBTQ people, they shouldn't have freedom to do what they want, or what they're fighting for equal rights.
Okay, so if it's not your DNA, it's not your choice. Do you agree with that?
I would I would partially agree. I mean, I do agree, but
So
in
you
this
have
situation,
sovereignty over your DNA.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so when there's another DNA inside of you, do you have sovereignty over that DNA?
It is a part of the woman that.
Well, it's also part of the man, so it's new DNA though.
Yeah, but it's attached to the woman. That's what I'm saying.
It's attached, but it's not her.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, if you think about it, like it's like theoretically it's like a parasite. It's attached to your body.
A baby's a parasite?
It's a fetus. It's a lump of cells in the woman's.
We're all lumps of cells.
Yeah, absolutely,
Right?
absolutely.
So,
but
what you're trying to do is you're using dehumanizing language. Clump of cells.
That's not what I'm trying
parasite,
to do.
But you are. No, it's okay. Just
okay.
this is typical abortion language,
Okay.
which is try to make the baby seem that it's not a baby, because the word baby gets people animated. Because if we called it a baby, all of a sudden we wouldn't abort it. But it is a baby. By every characteristic, it's a baby. So I guess the question in front of us is, with the vaccine question, you have sovereignty over your DNA.
Yeah, absolutely.
As soon as there's new DNA that is not your own deoxyribonucleic acid, you do not have sovereignty over that DNA. It is a temporary visitor in your own DNA, but it's not your DNA. It's its own human being.
Okay.
Like, I don't have sovereignty over you.
Absolutely,
You don't have
yeah.
sovereignty over me.
Yeah.
And your mom right now is not allowed to come back to campus and kill you.
Yeah, that's not the point though.
No,
It's
but think about it, because you guys are different. So we wouldn't.
Choice of an.
But your mom doesn't remain in control of you for the rest of your
No,
life.
yeah, absolutely not.
Because you're separate DNA, and it just so happens that it's temporarily housed within, not that it is you.
Okay.
So no one's contesting that women do not have autonomy over their own being. The point is, what about the being that also has autonomy that you are forsaking in the woman? Because that baby has rights too.
Well, you can't like ask the fetus the question, right? It should come down to the woman that's carrying
I
the
can't
child,
ask my
right?
6-month-old a question.
Absolutely
Understand?
not, yeah.
So just being able to reason with a being does not mean that the being doesn't have rights.
I don't like your T-shirt. I'm an immigrant. I don't understand why you would want to deport some of my friends and family who have been working hard in this country.
What's your name, sorry?
I'm Claudio, sir.
Yeah, Claudio. And this is just a thought exercise, but it's very revealing. You are king, and you find out that there are 30 million uninvited people in your country. What do you do with them?
I try to find the most humane way of sending them back to our country. But first of all, I want to say...
That's what we're doing.
Wait.
That's what we're doing. So what country did you emigrate from?
Are you going to like discriminate against me?
No, I'm going to do the opposite, actually.
I'm Mexican.
But you came here legally, correct?
I did.
You followed the rules. The people that you know didn't follow the rules.
True.
So I divide America not into Hispanic and white, into rule follower and rule breaker.
So what faith do you practice then? Because you say Christianity. Do you have a specific sect?
It's like evangelical. Basically,
This is over then.
You're part of the problem, I think, with the hatred on trans people. It's really not that deep. Like, if someone wants to dress up however they want, that's totally fine.
Okay, so
and I think
I'm
that's
not
where the
preventing
hatred
you. I'm
comes
not preventing you from dressing
Yeah,
up like
yeah.
this. However,
Like-
let me ask you a question. I will
Go
flush
ahead,
this
go
out.
ahead.
So let's pretend you say you are a woman.
Yeah,
And
let's pretend.
I know you are a man, but I refuse to
But-
call you a woman.
Okay.
Who's the hateful one?
I would say you are. I mean, I wouldn't.
So
I
you're
wouldn't
gonna
appreciate
force
it.
me and
I'm
shame
not
me?
forcing
No,
you
hold
to
on a
do
second.
anything, man.
I'm the hateful one.
It's really just like common courtesy.
It is never
Is it that much
common
effort?
courtesy to lie. Oh, it says Charlie is a Nazi. Wow.
So I know you're obviously very anti-trans.
No, I'm pro-reality.
Okay, if you were pro-reality, let me tell you a story that explains this sign a little
Let
bit.
me guess. All the Nazis were against trans people too, and therefore that makes me a Nazi.
Yeah, you mean the
Wait, hold on.
You mean all of the Nazis that was the first book burning.
Wait, hold on.
The first people, just like Donald Trump, the first people that Nazis went after were trans people and immigrants. And you fail to see the parallels with that.
Do you have a dog?
I do have a dog.
So
His
did
name's
Hitler. Are you a
Houdini. I love
Nazi?
him.
Oh my goodness. You have a dog, and so did Hitler. I can't believe it. Hitler had a dog. You have a dog. You're a Nazi.
Oh my God. Do you have short hair and f***ed up teeth? You must be a Nazi.
Well, let's elevate our discussion above personal insults. Let's try to... You see, the left can't debate, so they just call names. The left can't have a dialogue, so they just call names.
So I'm particularly concerned about your brand of Christianity as a Christian myself.
Christian nationalism, I do not agree with at all. I think it's antithetical to the values of the early church. And I think, how do you reconcile especially white Christians in this America, marrying politics and power with their faith in this country?
There's a lot there. I've never described myself as a Christian nationalist. So I'm a Christian and a nationalist, so I've never used those two.
And then right there, that and nationalist, where in the scriptures does a Christian...
Well, thank you. Jeremiah 29:7, demand the welfare of the nation that you are in, because your welfare is tied to your nation's welfare. Let me continue. Daniel fasted and prayed for his nation. Esther and Mordecai cared for their nation. They were counsel to the king.
Right.
Nehemiah, Jeremiah, Joseph, Jacob. I could keep on going. Moses, Aaron. In fact, Moses was so political that he wrote an entire book of the Torah all about how to set up a government. It's the book of Deuteronomy. So, in fact, the Bible is an explicitly political text amongst many other things.
There's a point in which Trump won Pennsylvania that you got emotional, and you actually shed a tear or two. I wonder at what point in that emotional response goes from felicity and joy of shedding a tear of this liberator to actually sorrow of seeing that this is going to get to the point where it could lead to oppression. And that's where my question was.
Do you know why I cried on election night?
Because you thought it was a restoration of the Judeo-Christian values that are inherent to the Constitution.
Let me tell you why, because I think you might appreciate this as a historian. Joe Biden sent the entire federal government after Turning Point USA and me personally. They wanted me in federal prison.
Right.
And by the way, that's what despots do, not Donald Trump. Let me finish. And so when Donald Trump won, it was a sigh of relief that maybe I won't have to go to federal prison. Maybe I can actually be around my kids. And maybe we can live in a free society.
Would you agree/disagree that the Make America movement, Make America Great movement, again, MAGA movement, is a cult?
No.
Do you know any characteristics of a cult?
Sure. I mean, you could take the Jonestown death cult, of which there was a charismatic leader that constantly lied people, and they took them out of everyday normal life and leads them towards ostracization and cutting off of family ties. Am I getting closer to describing the Democrat Party?
According to the... No. What I'm talking about is MAGA.
Why would you have a watch list of just only left-leaning professors and not conservative-leaning professors as well?
The mission is to expose left-wing professors.
Okay, well, wouldn't you want to expose the conservative-leaning values and have a more moderate landscape in terms of how we discuss politics as a whole?
Well, hold on. I mean, yes, of course, this is what we're embodying, but what percentage of professors at this school would you say voted for Trump?
I don't know.
How many would you guys say? 5%? 10%? Okay. So studies show that based on political donations, about 97% of U.S. college professors donated to Kamala. But if 97% of an organization, which is American college, all goes to the left, that's a massive imbalance, right? That's not moderate. That's insanely slanted.
Yeah, but that's not happening, though. Education as a...
Let me ask, how many of you guys feel as if you would be punished or treated differently if you say you support Trump or conservative values in your class? Look around. Look around. Every single person. So it is happening. Well, first, why does it make you feel so bad that they're here?
Because I know that we grew up a different way.
You grew up a different way?
Yes.
What way do you think I espouse?
Very conservative, very...
Does that make me like a bad person? Like...
When you go against my rights and my beliefs, yes. I think so.
So
But
I'm a bad person.
to my question.
Okay.
Yeah.
About gun violence?
Yes.
What in particular?
Like the shootings that are going on in America, that thousands of kids are dying.
Well, thousands of kids aren't dying every year, but a lot of kids are dying. You're right.
It's actually 30,000 kids die a year due to gun violence.
30,000 kids do not die a year. 30,000 total people die due to gun violence, 2/3 of which are suicide, and the majority are urban violence. You guys can fact check me on this at any time, by the way. 30,000 kids do not die of gun violence a year. So in order to be consistent, because you care about gun violence,
yes, I do.
Should we take all the pistols away so that no gang violence can happen in Kansas City, Chicago, Houston, etc.?
Yeah.
So all pistols should be taken.
Yeah.
Why?
Because children are dying.
Got it. So 30,000 people. Got it. 30,000 people die of gun violence a year, right? 30,000.
Yeah.
55,000 people die from auto fatalities every year. Should we get rid of cars?
Is that what we're talking about?
Yes, it is. No, you said 30,000. That's a lot of people, but a lot more people die because of cars. So we should get rid of them, right?
I don't think so. That's different.
No, it's not different. It's more people. We care about people, right? So we should try to make America safer, get rid of liberty. So cars got to go. Yeah.
So,
well, but I thought we'll save lives. We'll save 55,000 lives a year. You call me a white supremacist. What evidence do you have that I'm a racist?
I was just literally watching a video of you talking about whiteness as a whole, talking about whiteness as a concept, okay? And you were trying to explain how white privilege doesn't exist.
Correct, it doesn't.
You are a white man. How do you know?
What can a white person do that a black person can't do?
Black applicants to jobs are 50% less likely to get jobs if they have a black-sounding name.
That's not even close to being true. That's not even close to being true.
That is a literal...
in fact, it's the opposite.
I'm not going to argue your lived experience. I'm not going to... No.
See, now you have to listen to him under your rules because a black person is going to say you're wrong.
I am. He can say I'm wrong. I know.
Come on up to the mic.
I know. I read your.
My name's Keemon Dixon. I have a really black name. Please tell me how 50% of my internships have been denied when I've worked for Senator Mike Lee, Mayor Trent Sachs, Speaker Mike Schultz.
Hold on.
I worked for a Congressman, Burgess Owens. I've actually worked on his campaign. I've worked on the campaigns of John Huntsman Jr. Please tell me how my black experience and my black name has not given me. Go ahead.
So,
how are you able to so confidently just kind of word vomit? Really, all of your work is not a debate. It's just confirmation bias.
You want to debate?
No, I'm good. I'm just curious where you learned.
Okay. You sure?
Where you learned how to public
I'm a high
speak.
school graduate. You're in college, man. Let's debate. I vomit for a living, you said.
No, I'm not here to debate. That's not,
you're
that's
just
not
here
my question.
You're just here to insult me.
Yeah, I am. You're really good at lying out of your.
What have I lied about? Name one thing I lied tonight about. Name
stats.
Give some examples. Where did I lie or say a stat that's not true?
You need to work on not doing confirmation bias.
You came up here and insulted me. I'm asking you, how have I misled this audience? And you come unprepared, like not with a single data. I thought you'd at least have like one gotcha, man.
You're good at what you do, but not for the right reasons. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you should ask for money back at KU. They're really scamming you, man. You'd think you'd have one little thing. The question is, will Christian men commit to what really matters, to the divine, to the beautiful, to the good, with courage and with purpose? The next time that you are confronted with saying the hard thing and the honest thing, and you know it comes at a price to your flesh or yourself, you say the true thing. The next time you see somebody who is suffering or is being treated unjustly and you can intervene, you do something about it. You stand up to the bully, you put your own neck on there, and you choose what is right over what is comfortable. The most masculine people that I know are the ones that go into places where they are not welcome, they were not invited, that they will be booed off stage, and they still proclaim the truth. That's what it means to be a man. They know that if men and Christian men start to recommit to the truths and the promises of the Bible, that this country can and will be saved.
And you asked the question, what did it teach me about risk? Is that right?
Risk in life, yeah.
Well, honestly, I had nothing to really risk because I had nothing to lose. And so that's like...
Well, that's a nerve-wracking thing. A lot of people are presented with opportunities to talk with someone, get their foot in the door for some opportunity.
Sure, so what are you losing, though? Like, your own...
Getting over the embarrassment of rejection.
I know, but that's not losing anything, right? I mean, that's... In life, if you think about it, okay, if you're second mortgaging your house, like some entrepreneurs are, I don't have one of those stories, right? I'm sure you guys talk to some of these people. I was on the second mortgage of my house and I couldn't feed my kids. That's actually not my story. That is something to lose. This is the only thing you have to lose is your own sense of comfort. That's kind of weird when you think about it, right? I mean, I'm not going to ask that girl out. Why? Well, because I'm comfortable in my own corner. Comfort will not bring you success, actually. It won't bring you excellence. Only in that place of uncomfort and discomfort do you actually get to the next level.
How do you handle negativity and suffering? Do you complain or do you look at it as a potential blessing in your life? You are 100% in control of the attitude that you bring to things that are out of your control. Secular society and modern society says that you are a victim of your circumstances. You get to choose how you handle your circumstances. And so, for example, okay, our table gets torn down. They break into your dorm room. You have two choices. I'm a victim, feel sorry for me. I want special rights and privileges. Number two, wow, this is making me tougher. I'm going to grow closer to the people I care about. Boom, mindset shift. You have a choice to do that. And our society now is non-stop about you are just a creation of the stuff. No, you are a creation of who you choose to be. You are a creation of the mindset you bring to the game. My position is that even hate speech should be completely and totally allowed in our country. I think that in a civil society, the best ideas will win as long as you have that marketplace. And here's the real issue. As soon as you shut up hate speech, those people only get more powerful. And this is the unintended consequence of censorship. You give more credence to the silenced person the moment you shut them up, because then they can play the victim and they say, they're trying to shut me up because I have something that everyone else wants and I'm a threat to them. No, you're not. You're just a fool. And those people have too much power. And so the minute that you start to enforce speech laws like they do in Europe based on specific political opinions, then you actually give credence to them. Let me be very clear. Bring your bad ideas publicly so decent people can cross-examine you, so we can see who you are, we can talk to you and convince the public otherwise. This is a hard argument for some young people to hear, because they're like, it's so hateful, it's so awful, it deteriorates our country. No. Those ideas, if they spread, deteriorate our country. But good people will speak in opposition to them.
My question for you is, if you were stranded on a deserted island with any political opponent of your choice, who would you choose and why?
Definitely not Gavin Newsom. That wouldn't happen. I'd have to think about that. Let's play this out. If you're stranded on a deserted island, you can reason that you want that person to be very productive, not a complainer, and have done something in their life. So that's like no Democrats at all. So, and they're also like, most of them are super old, so they'd probably like die while we're on the island. That'd be like super awk. How long am I on this desert? I'm infinitely stranded with no hope of reconciliation? Forever. My goodness. I would probably pick like the most resourceful Democrat that I could find. If you wanted to survive on a desert island, there'd be like a million Republicans to pick. Like I'd pick like Joe Rogan, like people that could actually, hunt and gather, right? But if it's about survival, I don't know, the Democrats would try to unionize the island with just two of us. They would constantly steal my stuff and then call me a racist. Like it'd be terrible. Okay, everybody, the South Park episode just dropped, and honestly, it is hilarious. I mean, part of it is kind of like whatever, typical humor, but it was hilarious. Just watch this little snippet of our Prove Me Wrongs, our viral cultural domination on prime time on Comedy Central. So important, so impactful that South Park is highlighting. Watch it.
I'm sick of people stealing my stick. If anyone around here is going to be a master debater, it's me. So let's go. Who wants to debate the master debater? Let's go. You right there.
That's the stupidest haircut I've ever seen.
You are wrong. Leviticus 3:17 says it shall be a perpetual statute for your generations throughout all your dwellings. So you can shut up, baby. You just hate America and you love abortions.
Not only that, but Jeremiah 1:5, I made you in the womb. South Park gets this right. In fact, I think they've been watching a lot of Charlie Kirk videos. Now, there's going to be a lot said about this, but we need to have a good spirit about being made fun of. This is all a success. This is all a win. We as conservatives, we have thick skin, not thin skin. And you can make fun of us. It doesn't matter. And until next time, I hope all of you also become master debaters for truth.
Being unkind, I'm trying not to swear. It says right here on the top of my packet. Reminder, no swearing, because I'm on Charlie's show now. He was so wholesome. But in any event, being such a jerk for so many years, losing his show, no one cares. Most normal people don't care. Walter Kern, do you care? He's my guest now and joins me via satellite. Walter, your thoughts on Jimmy Kimmel and the leftist meltdown?
Well, let me say something first. 2 months ago, Charlie asked me to be on this show, and I'd never been on it before. And I said no, I was too busy. I would get to him this fall. Well, he's not here. And now I'm on his show with him not on Earth, which is a lesson to us all. Don't put things off. Don't take things for granted, and how quickly and terribly things can change. So I'm sorry, Mr. Kirk.
Oh, Walter.
I'm sorry that I delayed too long. Anyway, what do I think of Jimmy Kimmel? Well, I do a little showbiz. I write screenplays. I've had movies made of my books. I've written on TV shows. Jimmy, that's showbiz. You weren't funny. You weren't any good. You wished death on half of your audience in not so subtle ways. Hey, Wheezy, rest in peace. You made a false claim that this case had been cracked and the culprit was MAGA. In other words, half the U.S. public. Now you're gone, and you're gone legally, and I think legitimately, because ABC leases the public airwaves in order to make money. And that lease comes with conditions, and that is that it serves the public good, basically.
That's right.
And it wasn't serving the public good. It was acting on behalf of a regime. It was acting on behalf of its pharmaceutical advertisers that keep it, that keep it supported. It was slanting not just the news, but every joke. It's not cable. Greg Gutfeld is not comparable. He's on cable news. Those are private wires that are laid in the ground. This is the public airwaves, a stage that we give people on the condition that they use it with decency and some sense of fairness and fair play, and in the interest of all of us who own it. We own that station. We merely lease it to
That's
ABC.
Right. Do you think he was scared at all? Do you, like, that morning, did he have any sort of a premonition?
No, Megan. He was. we got out of the car after we prayed, and so many people out there. There were all these kids from TPUSA lined up, and you take pictures with them. And then we're about to walk in. It was kind of an amphitheater, and you were walking in from the front of it, like right toward the crowd, and he's just going, "Welcome to the big leagues." I mean, it was like a Trump rally.
Yeah.
I mean, people were chanting USA, USA, and Charlie starts flipping hats, and I'm just standing there, with my phone going, this is amazing. And then somebody hands me hats. So I give my phone to Danny there, the guy that you had on the podcast yesterday, and he starts filming. And so I'm flipping hats,
Right.
It was
right. You're in on the action.
Yeah. It was just such a festive atmosphere.
We actually have a little tape of it, Frank. Let me show it in Stop 50.
Wow, look at that.
Beautiful.
Look at that. Just give him a little taste.
This is inside Charlie's car. Now he's out of it throwing hats. Wow, huge crowd. Really incredible, Frank, because I remember Charlie doing these events, and you get like a handful of people who would show up and see him, and it had grown, as Andrew's been saying, into tent revivals.
It has. He was kind of a cross between Billy Graham and Rush Limbaugh.
Yes. Yes, that's perfect. Exactly right.
It was like people who, even if they weren't Christians, loved him, and even if people weren't conservatives but they were Christians, loved him. Everybody on the secular and Christian right loved him.
Yep. And in the middle, I think, too.
Okay, everybody, we are here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I have no idea if anybody showed up to this event. We'll find out if social media is real life. Let's go find out together. Here we go.
My name's Gavin Biggs from Strongsville, Ohio, and I just want to say that Charlie Kirk is the main reason for me finding my faith again. After 10 years of me not reading any scripture, not stepping foot in church, not even making a prayer, the day that he was taken from us, I opened the Bible. I asked God, please take me instead. Because we needed Charlie. We needed him. And I don't know who's going to take his place. God bless. God bless America. Please give us our country back.
I'm gonna just be honest. What happened to Charlie Kirk? It didn't just affect the United States. No. I look on my For You page and I say, from North Korea to China to England, the whole world knows this guy's name. And when you see stuff like that, I think of the Bible, how Jesus moved the people. When I say Charlie Kirk affected, when I say affected, you can say the whole world knows it.
My name is Charlie Brown, I'm 13 years old, and I am a part of / founder of a mission called Where's Charlie? This mission was created after the assassination of Charlie Kirk because it made me think, what nation do we live in where people are killed for exercising their right to free speech? My mission is best described in this quote: you can kill the messenger, but not the message. I am trying to bring together hundreds, thousands, and eventually millions of people to be a Charlie, to get truth and decipher that truth through critical thinking, just like Charlie did. Charlie may be gone, but now I am Charlie. You are Charlie. We are Charlie. And this is an American comeback.
I am Charlie Kirk. I speak loud and proud. And I wish everybody that's on these TikToks that believes in Charlie Kirk, you are Charlie Kirk. Just like they silenced him, they're going to try to silence you as well. So I am Charlie Kirk.
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 I am Charlie Kirk. I am Charlie Kirk. I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk. I am Charlie Kirk. I am Charlie Kirk. I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie Kirk, and we are just getting started.
You guys give me great hope. God bless.
Sad about Charlie Kirk, and if you are happy about it, you can just stop watching, because this will not be for you. There is a serious level of grieving that the Holy Spirit in me did when I heard the news. The first thing that I did was weep. The second thing was run into my prayer closet and pray, and then weep. And I just want to share and encourage people that are also sad about this news that you aren't alone. There may be a lot of people that are happy, a lot of people rejoicing. I call them wicked. The thing about the walk of faith that we all have is the opposition of the hope that we have in Christ will always be death. Charlie was 31. I'm 31. And it's a sobering reminder that it is possible to be killed for what you believe. Whether people agree or disagree, there's always going to be opposition to somebody's viewpoints. But that opposition resulting in murder is a sobering reality that not many of us want to come into contact with. It just kept reminding me, am I willing to risk it all for what I believe in? And
the assassination of Charlie Kirk has been awful, but it has brought to light the things we've been talking about. And it's been very hard to watch people that we should respect, classroom teachers, for example, celebrating an assassination in the United States of America in the year 2025. People have been shocked. They can't believe that some of these people are teaching in their schools and in their classrooms. But in one sense, I'm glad it's finally coming to light. But these teachers need to be exposed, because you have an absolute right in America to be a horrible person. You have an absolute right to speak horrible things. You have an absolute right to say that you are celebrating the death of our friend. But that does not give you the right to access our children in a classroom for 8 hours a day. That does not mean that we have to use our tax dollars to pay your salary for you to be a horrible person in front of our children and try to teach them your horrible, hateful ways. And so at Moms for Liberty, we are continuing the fight.
I keep thinking I'm fine, and then I sit down and look at my phone, and I just... This is not going to do what they think it will do. This will make him bigger and stronger, and his message more powerful than anything he could have done while he was alive. Charlie is fine. Charlie is with God now. That I know for sure. He is 100% with God. He is fine. It's us that aren't fine. And it is our job to finish what Charlie so bravely and boldly gave his life for.
You will never be the best version of yourself if you allow other people to convince you that you can't be better because of your skin color, because of your sexual identity, because of the community you came from. You must resist those narratives at all costs if you truly want to be successful in America.
If you have also been grieving about Charlie Kirk like this, and you're confused because it's like, I don't even know him, why am I grieving so hard? I need you to know that you're not alone. I got a question on Instagram because I have been posting about him constantly on my stories, and somebody asking, why are you talking about Charlie Kirk so much? Why didn't you talk about so-and-so this much? Why didn't you talk about this person so much? Why aren't you crying about this person? And there are a few answers to that. Number one is because we spent time with Charlie. He had an impact on us. He had such a huge impact on us through his words, through his prayers, through just the way he spoke, the activism that he did. He impacted our lives. He changed the world. He changed America, and he would have transformed America even more when he was going to be president, because it was going to happen.
Charlie Kirk, right-wing activist, Trump ally, has passed away at age 31. The reason why, I was a fan of Charlie Kirk and his college tours is because his love for Jesus Christ and how he will always talk about Jesus Christ, and he will bring the Bible onto the college campuses and everything. And I'm a Christian myself. All I can say is I pray for his wife and his 2 young children.
You will never be the best version of yourself if you allow other people to convince you that you can't be better because of your skin color, because of your sexual identity, because of the community you came from. You must resist those narratives at all costs if you truly want to be successful.
I think that Charlie thought that it was worth it in the end. Was it worth fighting for truth given the price he had to pay for it? Because the truth is, I don't know what goes through a man's mind when he's in his final moments, when he's lying in a pool of his own blood and all he can hear is the chaos and the screaming and the shrieks of horror all around him, when he's confronted suddenly and violently with the reality that he will never see his wife and children again in this life. I don't know what kind of thoughts you think, if any. But if I had to guess, based on what I know about Charlie, did he think it was worth it? Yes. Yes, I really do. Charlie died because he stood for the truth. Let's make no mistake about that. He was killed because he spoke the truth. And the truth is worth any cost that we must pay for it. The truth is worth our lives. It's worth our blood. It's worth even the grief and tears of our loved ones. Because the truth is the only thing that's worth anything. And the truth always wins in the end. The truth always prevails. I mean, you can hide from it, you can lie about it, you can try to distract from it, you can attempt to confuse and change the subject, you can cajole and harass and threaten those who speak it, you can kill them. But you can't kill the truth. The truth will outlive all of us. It was here before us, it'll be here after us. When we're all dead and gone and our graves are forgotten and overgrown, the truth will still be the truth. And the truth is what Charlie dedicated his life to. So yes, the truth is worth dying for because it's worth living for. And Charlie never forgot that, and neither should we.
That, one other thing I want to say about Charlie, and I got this from the Word Radio thing, but I also saw it in the New York Post article that came out, 10 days ago or so. Charlie Kirk loved Mormons. This is something he said right just a few minutes before he was assassinated. I think it's time for you Mormons. You got to get your mojo back. We need the strong Mormon church back in this country. I love how Mormons send missionaries around the world. I love how polite you are. Half my team is Mormon. And actually, his right-hand man is a Mormon. And now that Charlie's dead, his daily 3-hour radio show, the Charlie Kirk Show, from what I understand, there's going to be a number of conservative people that are going to be keeping that going. And one of them is our brother in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Glenn Beck. And I also, from the New York Post article, and this was also brought out in Ward Radio's podcast about this topic, in the New York Post article, Charlie specifically said, he said, I'm an evangelical Christian, but I'm not one of these evangelical Christians that hate on Mormons. I love Mormons. He says, I love how Mormons send missionaries around the world. I love how polite you are. Half my team is Mormon. And the amazing thing about that, of course, is that evangelical Christians, the vast, vast majority of them are deeply inculcated with the idea that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Mormons, are just this horrible, evil cult, and their gospel is this horrible, false gospel. And if Charlie Kirk bought into that at all, he would not love how we send missionaries around the world. If he thought that our Jesus is a demon and our gospel is a demonic gospel, he wouldn't love how we send missionaries around the world, and he wouldn't have half of his team and his right-hand man being Mormons, and he certainly wouldn't have a Latter-day Saint, Glenn Beck, helping to keep his radio show going, which of course he didn't do, but Turning Point USA and his wife Erica have Glenn Beck helping to keep the Charlie Kirk show going. So not only is in any case, I just, how can you watch this and not like fall in love with the man? I had not listened to very much of him, but in listening to this montage, it really helped me to understand the video I'm going to be putting up in the morning. This is this one. Okay, who was Charlie Kirk really? Don't believe the lies. But tomorrow morning, I'm going to be putting up this one. Satan's 3 reasons for killing Charlie Kirk. I think Charlie Kirk's death is a very deep and profound thing. And there's 3 very specific reasons why Satan wanted him dead and inspired this young man, Tyler Robinson, to assassinate him. And in any case, that's what the video is going to be about that I'm going to put up in the morning. But I just wanted to share that wonderful montage that Sasha Stone put together, because it really helped me to get a broader and a little bit deeper understanding of just what a wonderful human being Charlie Kirk was. All right. So anyway, love you all very much, and hope some of you find this video encouraging. And I say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
To being drawn, and all of a sudden, just, I guess you call it personal revelation. It's like all these bombs are going off in my heart from 47 years. Oh, that makes sense. I understand this. This is incredible. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints actually is the only true church.
It is. That's right.
More times than I can count, I heard slander spoken against like it was absolute gospel truth and impossible to refute. But the truth is that you're believing that the most beautiful thing on earth is a cult, and that only a fool would believe otherwise. And that's why it took me till I'm 68 years old, man, to even take the Ark of God, the Holy City, the Church of Jesus Christ, restored on the earth with true apostles and prophets, the most beautiful men to follow on the whole planet, to even look at them and give them a listen. It took me 47 years. I spent 47 years trying to find what was right there in front of me, man.
President Nelson promised us that we would see the
greatest manifestations of the Savior's power that the world has ever seen. He will bestow countless privileges, blessings, and miracles upon the faithful.
This man, finding the restored gospel truths that he's been seeking for 47 years, is one of those miracles. And there are millions of people out there just like David, honest seekers of truth, who are only kept from the truth because they know not where to find it. Lost in the accusatory fog, as David puts it. Not even thinking to give Latter-day Saints a serious thought. But we know where to find it. We are enjoying the fruits of it. The question is, are we sharing it?
reminder, if you like the video, if you like what we're doing, please try to remember, hit like, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, and also hit the notification bell so when we put something out, you get a little notification of it. Love you all. Bye-bye.